An amiable welcome to everyone. This is your Allied Lectum channel to enhance your understanding. Today's topic is about lab accidents and first aid. Laboratory accidents are very usual and sometimes occur, especially when employers are working with volatile chemicals that contain significant risk. These laboratory accidents can be prevented by working with great care, and a person who are working in a laboratory environment should have enough safety training. Some examples of risk factors include high voltages, high and low pressures and temperatures, corrosive and toxic chemicals, and biohazards that includes infective organisms and their toxins. Accidents in the laboratory. Lab accidents may be discussed under the following areas like infection, burns, cuts and pricks, hazards of toxic chemicals, electric shocks, and fire. Infection. Infection that are acquired through laboratory or through laboratory related activities can occur in different ways. But the most commonest causes are inhalation of pathogens that are present in airborne droplets or aerosols of infectious fluids, are released during breakage or spilling, centrifuging, or during dispensing or mouth pipetting infectious materials. And also, it is very important to open and close the specimen containers in a proper manner. Ingestion of pathogen. It may not occur with our knowledge, but from contaminated food or fingers. Ingestion of pathogens are also by mouth pipetting. So pathogens enters our body through many ways that includes needle pricks, cuts, scratches, insect bites, sores or skin lesions. So it is very important to cover the open wounds. Burns. Burns may occur during working with flammable chemicals and stains or reagents which can catch fire easily. Fire may also come from spirit lamps and corrosive chemicals being split on the skin or ingested when mouth pipetting. Cuts and pricks. This may happen during handling of broken glasswares, then edge of a knife and accidental pricking with a needle or any other sharp instrument. So it is very important to place each and every sharp instruments in the laboratory in a proper place. Harmful effects of toxic chemicals. This is due to inhaling fumes from toxic chemicals. So it is better to avoid inhaling. So at any cost, if we are supposed to smell, we can do it gently. Then ingesting toxic chemicals through mouth pipetting and skin contact with toxic chemicals. Electric shocks. Electric shocks are usually due to ignorance or carelessness that can be caused by faulty electrical circuits like short circuits, then incorrect installation of equipment and touching exposed live wires. So it is important to avoid touching wires with our wet hands. Fire. A most common fire risk that are existing in laboratories are due to frequent uses of matches, that is match boxes, and open flames in close proximity that are very near to highly flammable chemicals and reagents like acetone, diethyl ether, methanol, acid alcohol, and some strains that are alcohol based, may cause fire accidents. These fire accidents may be minimized by knowing what to do if there is a fire in laboratory. So every worker in the laboratory should have the knowledge about fire extinguisher, and also how to use firefighting equipment. Then, knowing how to apply emergency first aid for burns. Firefighting equipment. Most commonly used firefighting equipments are buckets of water in case of paper and wood fire, buckets of sand or dry soil to low level or smoother flames, and fire blankets that are made from heavy cotton. Factors that are contributing to laboratory accidents. A poorly designed laboratory and overcrowding can increase the risk of accident occurrence. So, a laboratory should be designed in a well-spaced manner, and a very limited numbers of workers should be allowed to work. Then, poor training, lack of concentration while processing, noisy environment, untidy working, and not using racks to hold sample. We move on to the topic first aid. First aid is nothing but knowing what to do immediately if an accident occurs, and it helps to reduce suffering and consequences of serious accidents. So, it is the basic medical treatment that is given to someone as soon as possible after they have been hurt in an accident. In some situations, first aid can be life-saving. For example, control of bleeding, protecting and treating wounds, placing a person in the best possible position. First aid equipment. An adequate equipped first aid box should be kept in the laboratory in a place that is easily accessible to all members. So, the contents of first aid box should include clear instruction on how to apply emergency treatment for cuts, bleeding, heat burns, swallowing of acids, alkalis and other poisonous chemicals, and also for fainting, electric shock, and how to perform emergency resuscitation. It also includes things like safety pins, thermometer, gloves, elastic bandages, and some antiseptics. What to do after injury? First, in case of cuts and bleeding, it is important to wash the hands thoroughly with soap water. Then apply pressure with a piece of cotton wool to stop bleeding, and then disinfect the area of the skin using some antiseptics like tincture of iodine. Cover with a waterproof dressing, and if the cut has been caused by contaminated glasswares, allow bleeding for 2 more minutes. In case of emergency, it is important to seek medical attention. For burns, immediately immerse burnt area into running cold tap water. Then cover it with a dry dressing. Important note is that if the burn is severe, look for medical treatment. Chemical burns of the skin. Wash immediately with large quantities of water and neutralize with the suitable chemicals as follows. If the burns are due to acid, it is better to neutralize it with sodium bicarbonate, and if not, seek medical attention. If it is an alkaline burns, neutralize it with boric acid powder. Chemical injury to the eye. It may happen during improper opening or closure of chemical bottles. So, wash the affected eye as quickly as possible with large quantities of running water. Then, neutralize with the suitable chemicals as follow. If the injury is due to acid, neutralize with 5% sodium bicarbonate solution. If it is due to alkaline, then neutralize with 5% acetic acid. Immediately seek medical attention in case of severe injury. Emergency treatment for poisoning. So it is often due to mouth pipetting. In case of an acid or alkali, it is important to rinse the mouth immediately well with water and then neutralize with the suitable chemicals as follows. If acid has been swallowed, it can be neutralized by drinking 8% magnesium hydroxide suspension, which is also called milk of magnesia. If an alkali has been swallowed, then neutralize by drinking lemon juice or 5% acetic acid. And a person can also drink 3 to 4 cups of water. Based on severity, we can seek medical attention. Electric shock. In case of any faulty electrical circuits, immediately turn off the electricity from the mains. If the person has collapsed, send immediately for medical help. And we can give him artificial respiration if he is not breathing. Fainting. In case of fainting, provide fresh air and place the person in a reclined position, that is, in a relaxed position with a supported back, so that their head is lower than the rest of their body. Safe use and storage of chemicals and reagents. Even in the smallest laboratory, dangerous chemicals are used directly or indirectly with stains and reagents. Hence, the correct handling and storage of hazardous chemicals is very necessary to prevent injury and damage. In addition to proper handling, it is also very important to label the chemicals to reduce accidents. Storage of flammable chemicals. Some flammable chemicals are ether, xylene, ethanol, etc. So, these flammable chemicals should be stored in a fireproof metal box only at ground level. And it is always better to prefer in and outside cool and locked box. If a metal box is not available, at least use a container well lined with tin foil. Storage of corrosive chemicals. Corrosive chemicals include strong acids like concentrated sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and glacial acetic acid, and some alkalis like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are also used. These corrosive chemicals should be stored at very low level to avoid any serious injury which can be caused if they are accidentally knocked off a shelf. Then, safe use of corrosive chemicals. It is always better to avoid mouth pipetting. Instead, we can use automatic pipettes. Always pour corrosive chemicals slowly and with great care in order to avoid splashing. Toxic and harmful chemicals. These toxic chemicals can cause death or serious ill health if swallowed or inhaled, and also if the chemical is allowed to come in contact with the skin. For example, potassium cyanide and chloroform. These highly toxic chemicals like potassium cyanide can be kept in a locked cupboard and not in an open shelf. Safe use. Handle these toxic, harmful and irritating chemicals with great care by wearing protective equipments like gloves. Oxidizing chemicals. These include chlorates, perchlorates, strong peroxides and chromic acid. These must be stored away from organic materials and reducing agents as they produce much heat. Safe use. It is important to handle oxidizing chemicals with great care. Most are dangerous to skin and eyes when it comes in contact with the reducing agents. Carcinogens. Carcinogens are nothing but a chemical that can cause cancer by ingestion, inhalation, or by skin contact. For example, benzene, which contains proven carcinogenic properties. So, carcinogens should be stored in a closed containers, and it is very important to label it as carcinogenic, handle with special precautions. Then safe use. Always wear protective plastic or rubber gloves and face mask when handling carcinogenic chemicals. General safety rules that are followed to avoid lab accidents includes secure loose sleeves or other articles of clothing like ties and bows. When working near an open flame, tie back long hair. Then during lab work, we should not touch our face without washing. And we should wear shoes instead of open-toed sandals in laboratory situations. Never eat, drink, or apply cosmetics in a laboratory setting, which can easily become contaminated with dangerous chemicals. Always wear protective goggles whenever heating or pouring hazardous chemicals. Do not inhale fumes directly. Do not pick up broken glass with your bare hands. Also handle scalpels and razor blades with extreme care. Never handle electrical equipment with wet hands, and use tongs to handle hot objects. Reporting. It is important to report to the person in charge of the laboratory in case of any accidents in the laboratory which involves personal injuries and even minor ones. Let me conclude this topic that laboratory accidents often results from an indifferent attitude, that is, one fails to follow the laboratory protocols and failure to use common sense. If you don't know, ask. Do the right thing. It is necessary to have a knowledge about a basic medical treatment. Thank you.